Hello, I'm Kelly and welcome to my Flosstube channel, Animal Instinct. It's Sunday, July the 2nd, 2023, and I'm back with another cross-stitching update. Thanks so much for spending some time with me today. I hope you're all well and are enjoying your stitching. Thanks to all my existing subscribers and welcome if you're new. I missed my mid-June update this time round, so today I'm just coming to you with all my stitching from June, and the way things are going at the moment, I think I'm probably going to go back to monthly updates for the next little while, but we'll see. So June was supposed to be a focus on my largest project kind of month. It didn't really go to plan, but I'm really happy with what I did get done, so I'm really pleased to be able to share with you today. I have 3 finished projects, a couple of whips, and my progress on Firefly, which was supposed to be the focus. Didn't quite work out that way. First of all, very, very happy to share that I finished the Pilgrim by Long Dog Samplers. So I started this back in 2018, 5 years ago now, and that was at the 5th anniversary of my cancer diagnosis, and I really wanted to get it finished in time for the 10th anniversary, which is a month away. So did that with plenty of time to spare. I had divvied up the stitches that I needed to get done each month, but just really enjoyed working on it in June, so I decided to carry on to finish it. And here is the finished piece. So it's on a 36 count linen, not entirely sure what linen. I thought it was platinum, but I don't think it is. And it's stitched in Silks For You 1/2. It's fairly light coverage, but I think it works with this piece, and I'm so pleased. So I'll show you what I did in June. Came down and did that bottom, I can't actually remember. I know it was about 7,000 stitches. Bottom right hand corner anyway. So I think I did this. I can't remember, sorry. I definitely did this. And I was so pleased when my borders lined up. Because that's always a relief. I didn't have any reason to think they wouldn't, but it's not until you actually see it that you know for sure. So I popped my initials and the year in, and I just think it's beautiful. I was having a look at this, trying to work out if I had a favourite motif, and I think I really like this rabbit looking up at the bird bath. Oops. He's very cute. I like the frog. And I really like, where is it? I like that there's so many little things hidden through it. I think this ant is very cute as well. On top of the words here. So I'm so pleased to have this done. I picked the colour because it's a dark teal, and that's the awareness colour for ovarian cancer. And I actually kept quite good records about how much silk I used. So if you're wondering, I think this piece has got about, I think it's a larger long dog with about 56,500 stitches. And I think I started the year at 45% complete. I've done about 31,000 stitches this year to finish it. But I thought I'd show you, let me just grab my notes here. I can't remember if the pattern had a suggested amount of floss that you'd need, but I bought a hank of silk from Silks For You, and the hanks come kind of like this. and I wasn't really sure how to wrangle it when I first got it, so I had some help from a friend in Canberra, thank you Liz. And what I did was untwisted it, so it was a big loop like this, and I just snipped here. So that gave me all these really long lengths, and they're about 115 centimeters each. And I would pull out 10 lengths and stitch it all up. Obviously wouldn't keep it that long to stitch, I'd cut it shorter again. And I wouldn't pull out any more from the hank until I'd stitched all of those 10 lengths. And I actually wrote down every time I grabbed the 10 lengths. So I used 60 lengths of 6-stranded silk, and that works out to 69 meters of silk used for this piece. I used 1 strand of silk to do my stitching, so 69 times 6 is 414 meters. But in terms of hank usage, 69 meters, and a hank comes in at around about 220 meters. So I only used about 1/3 of a hank. So I have all of this left over to find use for. It's just a beautiful colour. So I was curious about whether or not buying the hank is good value for money, or would I have been better off getting individual skeins. I guess I didn't know at the time how much I'd need. But they sell skeins of silk for $8.80, and they're 15 meters long each. So I would have needed 5 skeins. 5 times $8.80 is $44. A hank, which is 220 meters, and it's the equivalent of about 14 to 15 skeins, is, funnily enough, $44. So same price, I guess. You've got to think about if you want all of this left over afterwards. Anyway, I thought that was a really interesting little bit of maths. So I'm so thrilled that this is all done, and I am going to get this one professionally framed. I really enjoyed finishing that. And sorry, I went on, found something else that I could go on and finish, and I pulled out Dr. Kristi from Christys Corner, her butt trumpet, or toot your own horn. This is the second in her series of medieval marginalia. So she's taken artwork that was present in the margins of medieval texts and converted it to cross stitch. So this is number 2, and I finished it. I think he's fantastic. And I'm very conscious that I was just talking about ovaries, and these look like ovaries too. This is on 40 count linen. It's in Swiss Coffee. It's by Colour and Cotton. Oops, spare thread. Stitched 1/2 in the DMC. Now, when Kristi stitched the model, she used gold metallic thread for the bits that I have, and also these bits here. Up there. I stitched this with Jo, Belushi Stitches, and she decided not to use any metallic thread, and she went with the DMC, and hers looks fantastic. She's put a post on Instagram, so if you'd like to see it stitched with no metallics, go and have a look at her great finish. And I decided to compromise and do a bit of both. So I'm really happy with that, and I'm looking forward to the 3rd one in the series. Then I went through my stash and, not my stash, my pile of projects, I guess. And I pulled out another one that has not had much love, and it really needed to have some love. And I started on it and I enjoyed stitching it so much that I went on and finished it. So this is Except Grandma's by Lindy Stitches. That is how it's charted. I had, so I'm doing this for my parents, and I had changed the house and the garden to make it look a little bit more like theirs, but when I started stitching the house it looked quite drab. The house is quite nice, but just stitched wise it wasn't working. So I restarted it early this year and I had only done the roof. But I went ahead and finished it. I'm really happy with this. It's on 32 count cream Lugana. I did change it up a little bit. So, let's see, I didn't put the flag on the letterbox. We don't have those here in Australia. I changed the text here from Grandma's to Nan and Pa's because that's what my parents go by to their grandkids. I grabbed this font from Lord Liberton. It's a freebie. And this was all charted in 2 greens. I changed it to blue because football. Our local football team is red and blue, and our like higher level team is red, blue and gold. So I thought that worked well for them, seeing they have football paraphernalia up in their house. So I'm so thrilled with that and I can't wait to gift it to them. So that was, none of those finishes were really expected this month, but yeah, really happy with all of that. I have 2 more whips and then I'll show you Firefly. I put a little bit of time into my Greenhouse of Oddities by LolaCrowCrossStitch. I'm well behind, but that's all right. I'm okay with that. I'm still working on the first planting. I can't actually remember where it was last time I shared it, but I'm onto the last green in these. Then there's a few more colours and then that bit's almost done, but I still have plenty of the frame to go. It's been really great to see this coming along, all of the plantings as they come out. It looks fantastic, so I'll keep working on that slowly but surely. It's on 32 count Belfast linen in French pear. And did I say the designer? Can't remember. LolaCrowCrossStitch. Cute little owl. I also worked a little bit on another one I haven't touched in a while, and that was my Bayon Cat by Our Forest Embroidery, which comes as a kit. It's on 32 count Belfast linen that's printed I think on the front. Yeah. I filled in some more of in the tail here, and then I decided to slowly work my way around the outline of the cat, counting very carefully. So this is quite a good one to work on. There's a fair amount to go, but I'm wondering if I can maybe aim for a finish this year. I'm not sure. I think I brought like 13 main pieces to focus on at the start of the year, plus all my million new starts. But of those 13, I think I've finished 5 of them. So it'd be good to have at least one more finished. Could be this one. We'll see. It definitely won't be the next one. So finally, Firefly. This is Firefly. So artwork is by J Parks and it's tarted and kitted by Gecko Rouge. I'm focusing on this cat this year. And I worked on Firefly for 10 days at the start of the month, and I actually got 9,000 stitches done, so you know, it's quite a lot. I just stopped. I'll pop a photo in of where it was at the start of the month. And here it is now. So she's coming together really nicely. Once I got into the main sort of lighter colours on her face, it's gone more quickly. Up here it was very confetti heavy. So I just think, yeah, the detail is quite amazing. It almost looks like a photograph, this particular cat. And I'm just coming into her nose here. So the cats are being stitched, did I say that? Oh gosh, I'm forgetting now. 25 count Lugana. The cats are being stitched 1/1 full cross, and the background, you can't really see a whole lot of background in this view, is 2/1 10 stitch. Now the last 3 years I have kind of focused on trying to finish a cat and then do some background as well, but there's still a lot to go. Up the top there, I do not want to be lumped with all of that at the end. So, I mean, we're a long way to next year, but at this stage I am thinking of perhaps focusing on background next year. It won't be as fun as seeing the cats come to life, but it's necessary, so we'll see. I might change my mind, who knows. But that is where Firefly's at. So that's all my cross stitching. Yep. I have done a bit more on my Sashiko, and I can't quite remember what I'd done when I filmed last, but I'm doing this, I'm doing a quilt, and the first, so I get about 3 blocks each month to stitch up and then piece together. So that was the first one. This is the second one. And then I think maybe this one is new, but I can't quite remember. So I've done all the Sashiko stitching for month 1. And then I do have month 2 ready to go, but I'm going to make sure I complete month 1 before I start. And that's going to require me to stitch those together, piece those together. So first of all, one of those blocks is smaller than the others, and it gets a bit of a border in these fabrics. And then once I've stitched those strips on, we then join them to these two with some navy fabric, some navy strips that I have. So I really want to get this bit done so I can go on and start month 2. I'm pretty sure they send 2 months out at a time. I'm pretty sure months 3 and 4, they might even be already in the mail. I'm well behind. Don't expect to keep up, but want to keep going because I've really enjoyed this stitching. That was a fun one to do. Okay, so now I guess we'll go into plans. I haven't really worked out what I want to stitch on in July. Yeah, so I am planning on filming a mid-year whip parade maybe next weekend. And that will be a good chance for me to go through my projects and work out, yeah, what I feel like working on. I have had a new start yesterday, which I won't share today. I'll share that in my next update. But it's very me. No one will be surprised when they see what it is. Probably have some more new starts in July. I would like to touch my chatelaine, and I want to get back to Love, which was my birthday start back in February. It's the 2 cats with the noses touching. I think I'd like to maybe set myself a goal of finishing that by my next birthday. So yeah, we'll see. Lots to consider. I've got so many projects, so plenty to look through. So I'll leave it there. A little friend come to say hello. We will say goodbye and see you again for the whip parade next time. Until then, happy stitching. See ya.